Hey guys, Don Rice here, and alright, we're looking at another big boy moment here, and I have the front windscreen has been taped in place, essentially, just so you know, I taped it to the back half of the canopy. You can see these little red alignment marks. I had marked those before I had cut and did the separation, right? And so, can you see those red marks? Well, even if you can't see the red marks, there are in fact red marks here. And so I taped it back together. I put this thing in place. I got the front half of this thing all taped down good and hard. And here's the front roll hoop. A little dirty. Alright, so it goes in place like that. Now, what we're going to look at here is you can see that the roll hoop has a shelf dremeled into it, painstakingly dremeled into it. The idea is that the plastic, the clear plastic will lay into this shelf, and then the fiberglass frame, the outer frame here, will lay up on top of this. That was the idea when I did this. So this goes in here like that, and my intention here is that I'm going to put some 20-minute Hysol. I'm going to lay in a bed of 20-minute Hysol right in there, and then I'm going to lift this thing up into place and get it all situated, and then I'm going to put, you know, a buttload of little clampy doodads all the way around it, and then I'm going to sit back and chew my fingernails. So that's the plan. Alright, well, just for fun, we'll do a step-by-step. This is a Hysol applicator, and I'm using 20-minute Hysol. I like 20-minute Hysol because it actually gives me, I don't know, at least a half-hour working time. And it's all been mixed up. And here's the thingy. So basically, you know, I've got that little kind of shelf area up on the front side is to my right here, and that shelf area is where the clear plastic is supposed to, you know, come to rest, and then the higher part, which is actually, you know, got a nice accurate outline here, that's where the fiberglass frame is supposed to come to rest. You know, I really don't want any of this glue, you know, squeegeeing out and or spooging out the front, because it'll be visible through the clear glass. I'm okay with it coming out the backside, because I can always clean that up with sandpaper, you know, on this side. No big deal. So I'm thinking what I probably ought to do is go really light on how much glue I'm putting in on the front part here, to make sure nothing really kind of squeezes out the front. And I mean, if I don't have really good coverage, I can always put some, you know, maybe a little bit of very lightly thinned RC56. I could always put that in a hypodermic, and later come at any points that aren't, you know, don't appear to have enough glue on them. I can, you know, run some very carefully run some of that on the inside of the clear glass, but really don't want any of this Hysol showing up. That would be bad. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of, this is isopropyl, that's a paper towel, and I just want to make sure I get that cleaned up. I don't want any of this, really don't want any of this to be showing up on the front of this frame. It's going to be impossible to work on once it's all done and in place. The nice thing, you know, this is all class coat. I shoot with class coat, and one of the nice things about class coat is that, you know, it's basically impervious to anything. So the problem I have with other types of paints is, you know, you use isopropyl alcohol, you use denatured alcohol, you use degreasers, and all of these kinds of things eat some kind of paint, and it's hard to keep it all straight. At least it is for me. In fact, I can't keep it straight. So, okay, so there's a little bit of Hysol spread on this hoop frame thing, and I'm going to try and put this in place, you know, without dicking everything up. Alright, so the feet are aligned. Alright, now I gotta get some glue off my hands. Hold on. I just know what's going to happen here is I'm going to end up having a little bit of friggin' glue on my fingers, and I'm going to touch the glass, and it'll be there forever, and I will hate myself. Oh, alright, I'm going to hate myself anyway. But, you know, I try and minimize the numbers of reasons. Alright, so my intention is to lift this more or less. It has to come up about 1/8 of an inch. There. Come up just a touch on this side. Okay, and then you breathe. breathe. Alright, so now step back, and from a distance I'm going to take a little bit of a look here and see if I've got, because that front roll hoop needs to, you know, it had to be lifted just a little bit in order to get it up and in place. I want to make sure that I've got an equal amount of lift left and right. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Alright, I'm going to just keep going around and adding some more clothespins here. Okay, so there we go. That looks like an Indian headdress to me. Huh? See what I'm saying? Hey, there's the Corsair dance. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to let that sit for 24 hours and I'm going to come back, and hopefully tomorrow I won't be crying great big puppy dog tears. Later.